What happens when a work visa becomes more than a policy and it turns into a political symbol? Because the United States H-1B visa system is no longer just about debates now. It is more about identity, economics, political anger, all of it colliding in real time. In the recent podcast conversation, immigration expert Muzaffar Chishti pointed out to a recurring political pattern linked to President Donald Trump. Well, one that has shaped the H-1B visa workers that are publicly framed in the US debates, and it is framing that it is no new but becoming sharper. Chishti explains that Trump has often highlighted the case of American workers who were reportedly replaced by the foreign H-1B visa workers, presenting them as a symbol of job displacement. Well, according to him, these narratives have become politically powerful, especially among parts of the MAGA base. But here's where the story gets even more complex, because behind the political messaging, this is much larger economic system. One that depends heavily on the skilled foreign workers, especially in the tech and in engineering sector. And yet, perception and policy are now moving forward in the different tracks. Chishti argues that Indian workers, in particular, have faced the disappropriate attention in the debate. Not because of the policy alone, but because of the visibility. Now, success in tech, startups, corporate Americans have now made Indian professionals highly recognizable in the system. And you know what? That changes everything. Because what was once seen as a talent pipeline is now being pulled into a larger political conversation about wages, jobs, national policies, priorities, and whatnot. However, Chishti also warned us that this is part of a broader rise in anti-immigrant sentiment in the US, something that he says should not be ignored for a downplayed. And yet, this is where the contradiction emerges again. The US economy contributes and relies to a global talent, even as parts of its political system pushing together the restrictions and a stronger enforcement. So the question is no longer just about H-1B visas. It is about how immigration defines fairness in the global economy, and while also responding to domestic political pressure. And this debate intensifies one's uncertainty that remains hanging in the air.